Hi, everybody. How's it going? Everybody doing well this Monday afternoon? I hope. I can't wait to hear feedback on today's video because it's a bit of a different experience, yeah? What up, Joe? How you doing? Did you catch the video? I'm sorry. What's the matter? Is it like just Monday stuff or I hope it's not anything too serious? Not yet. Right on. I'm looking forward to feedback on this one. It's a bit of a different experience. I just kind of reacted to this guy and made fun of him. Memorial Day yesterday, my life in general, I just feel depressed about it today. I'll get past it. Oh, okay. Happy Memorial Day. We did not do anything, but we often don't around here. We're very busy people. I mean, you want to talk about it, or you don't have to. It wasn't Memorial Day. I went to a memorial for my daughter's stepson. Oh. Okay. I'm obviously losing track of the time. It's not September yet. Pretty much the state of the selfish world in general. Oh, I'm sorry. Was he young? $22? Damn. We had a couple right about that age. That's rough. Oh, man. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. There. What's up, Philological? Oh, I just read what you wrote, Joe. Am I going to listen to this? Yeah. Hey, Bell, gobble, gobble. You guys are so funny. Speaking of being funny, did you see my video, Belle? Because that was an attempt at being quippy, anyway. Sorry, I didn't watch it. But still am. Just on an energy drink break right now. Right on. Well, thanks for coming to see me anyway, you guys. You know, it'll be there. It'll be there. Probably a couple guaranteed views in the near future, huh? Because I did. I took that guy from the Friday video, the guy with the deep voice. You need to catch up on your videos. I've just been going ham. Oh, yeah. Fair enough. You have stuff to do. Like me, too. If I wasn't making them, I sure wouldn't be watching them as quick. No. Fair enough. Everything okay with me? Yeah. I don't want to speak too soon, but it appears the wave is crested, if you know what I mean. And we're just kind of hanging out. And the thing I had to take care of on Friday worked itself out too. So, not without my help, but like it, you know. Anyway, wave has crested. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever lived in like a multi generational, like multi person household. Um, Maybe it's just that I'm pretty sure some of these people have undiagnosed mental issues. Um, myself being one of them, maybe. Who knows? But like, that's the point. And there just come these times when I don't know, tension seems to sort of crescendo in the household for reasons that aren't always known to me. You always have? Yeah. It sounds like you've had some more positive experiences though, so your mileage may vary. One hopes. Anyway, one hopes. I moved my parents into an addition I had built, and I'm going to be moving into my daughter and grandson. Into it, so my daughter and grandson can have the main house, as I do not need it. That's really nice. It's really nice. But you said you have good relationships with your kids and everything. It is not possible for me to have a positive relationship with everyone in this house. That's not my choice. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm not here to complain. We're gonna gossip about anybody. Oh, that's what I said we were gonna do. We were gonna go look at this guy's website. It's very hard when you can't get along with someone in the house. I've been through that too. I'm sorry. Yeah, that sucks. No, but this guy's website, I wish I had a way to put it on the screen. I forgot I can't do that. But like, it's so hilarious. He obviously wrote the copy himself at one point. Like, every paragraph starts with Rich Cooper, blah 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 blah. And at the end of like the fourth or fifth paragraph down, he slips into the first person. Right around the part where he says that he used to, he built this really good company that people were so happy to work at and had an award-winning company culture and whatever. But now he's a company of one. And I'm just like, yeah, it shows. It shows. I can't imagine why anyone wouldn't want to work with that guy. I know, I'm just dying to talk to him in person. Shows. Yeah, right. Well, he doesn't even apparently have anybody to edit the copy on his website. So. That's why you need editors. I noticed that immediately, but I didn't write it. So. My coffee's gone. I just had the luxury to tell them to get the hell out. Yeah, right. That must be nice. We're working on it. We're working on it. And it's more like we're just going to get the hell out. That's, a big part of what this whole video spree is about. I'm just cranking them out. I still need to get into the shorts. I'm slowly becoming motivated to get into the shorts. Oh, God. I don't know. At this point, I'm still working on the new production schedule and, like, trying to get to grips with that. So I'm not even sure when, like, I would do them. Because newsflash, I need time to do other things besides this and mom stuff. If only just to I don't know, make a diary entry or something, for Christ's sake. It's go on a walk, simple stuff like that. Simple little sanity maintenance stuff like that. That it gets tough to squeeze in some days, and yikes, we don't want to have that crap build up. We don't want to slip into bad habits of not taking care of oneself. That's not good. That's not good. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I need to do my hair? Not to put too fine a point on it and bring too much attention to it, but like the roots or something terrible. Speaking of being a company of one. No. The level of support for this endeavor has been a point of contention lately. I wouldn't have noticed the roots if you hadn't pointed them out. Right? Yeah. Of course I had to bring it up. I can't help but notice, obviously. You'll notice Wednesday when they're gone. It pops, Apparently, I'm fair skinned. My friend Jay, the web developer, was kind enough to remind me of that last week, talking about thumbnail pictures. You know, I tend not to notice that stuff. Yeah, well. Who are you, Sherlock Holmes? I mean, yeah. Really, who's going around evaluating other people's hair? Although I've learned a couple of shocking things. Like apparently most women with blonde hair, like grown women with blonde hair, do not actually have blonde hair. Speaking as someone who's never had anything approaching blonde hair, except for one terrible accident in my 20s, lest anybody for some reason try and look that up and like say I'm lying. I did not know this. This shocks me. Really? Does fair skin mean white? Yeah. I thought it was pale, and you don't look pale to me. I thought aren't those two things synonymous too? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm blotchy, Unless you've got rouge on or something. Oh no. No, this color is all natural. Except for the black hair. As I say. No, I enjoyed the contrast of the hair and the. Not just because I think it looks better on camera, but also because I don't know. I like it. It's nice. And it's so funny because I was just thinking about this last night. The red haired stereotype. I've gone on about this before, but like, in my case, a lot of times people seem to like assume strange like assign me magic powers, basically. Mind you, these were like Wiccan people and whatever. They're witchy people anyway. But, whenever anybody would come to me and try and tell me that, oh, I've had this vibe, I had a vision, I had whatever, that you have psychic powers, you need to develop them, I'd be like, yeah, I have red hair, don't I? Yeah, that's not what that means. American Pale is a lower standard than English Pale. That may be. That may be. How you doing, Adelet? Adelet? Mm. But yeah, so anyways, that video was fun to make and came together fairly easily. So I hope you guys like it because there's a good chance I'm going to end up doing more like that. That guy was just so ludicrous. Sitting there. Talking about how, I mean, the one thing that approached anything like a good piece of advice was to chase excellence, not women. Pursue your goals, not validation through other people. Right? That applies to women too, though. Oops, except not to him, because if a woman has a personality or achievements or anything like that, nobody gives a rat's ass about that shit. Right? Who gives a fuck if a woman has a personality? Having a good personality as a woman just means that you're homely. Right? It's literally the level on which this guy is operating. 2 of his 5 points were based in nursery rhymes or like old folk sayings. Like, I think my favorite bit was he took objection with the phrase "what's good for the goose is good for the gander." Trying to say that what's good for men is not good for women. Unfortunately for him, the goose is the female bird, and the gander is the male bird. So it's like exactly the inverse. It's more like happy wife, happy life. What's good for the goose, the girl bird, is good for the gander, the boy bird. That's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah. He had the sexes of the birds reversed. Women's personality mommy who will give him his binky. Yeah, right? Oh my God. This man literally used the word pee-pee. And at one point was referred to a woman with enormous breasts. And it was like visually awkward and just like made the motion with his hands and then was like, she has, bad arthritis, if you know what I'm saying. I'm like, dude. This man's 50 apiece a day, I swear to God. Mister, you're at least 40. Oh yeah, Adlet. Oh my fucking God. The good for the goose is good for the gander. Bit happy dying. Thank you, right? How does someone not know that? Thank you, right? And how are we supposed to take him seriously ever, if you ever did in the first place? After that, surely that's out the window. I think it's another middle-aged white guy syndrome. And I didn't say that in the video because that's just the thing that, I kind of keep to myself because it's not really a solidly developed idea. But that thing where middle-aged white guys with a good voice, right, can say basically whatever crazy shit they want. And if they do it in an authoritative way, a lot of people are going to just start nodding along. It's the most bizarre thing. How does that not stop you right there and go, wait a minute? But to start out with sugar and spice and all things nice, right? As if that's evidence of anything. What about snips and snails and puppy dog tails? First of all, what are snips anyway? Imagine being a dating guru and not able to name sexualized body parts. Yeah. The man's absurd. Oh, so, this is not going to be the only thing I do, obviously. There's still going to be stuff that comes across my screen that I'm like, oh, no. Oh, hell no. And I'm going to have to address things, I'm sure. But this looks like something I can just kind of do, in the vein of cranking out the content, It reminds me of my favorite red pill dating coach YouTuber called A Living a Life of Abundance. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the recommendation. That's what I'm saying. I need more like this. Hopefully shorter ones, maybe. This one turned into a bit of a bear. No pun intended. But he's so funny. If I stop taking him seriously and just listen to what he's saying, and it's so easy to make fun of him because he's so ridiculous. He had all sorts of unintentionally hilarious derogatory terms for women, which made them sound like fantasy creatures. Like, that's so good. That is so good. Thank you. Thank you for the rec. Got it. Oh, yeah, the terminology. Like I say, there was a lot of crossover between this guy and Gonzalo Lira. I think YouTube might have censored one of my messages, which included the name. Oh, wow. Let's say semen gobblers. Ew. Oh god, that's the one downside to this. Really, is some of this stuff is so disgusting. Like the bit about rearranging her insides. That makes me want to barf. That makes me want to rearrange my insides. Oh, I wish I'd thought to say that. Whatever. I'm sure it won't be my last opportunity because I know this lingo gets passed around, right? And I asked this in the video. This guy repeats some strange phrases. And I'm curious to see. I'm genuinely curious to see what other kind of stuff is out there. Wow. But what is with that? Is he like doing some form of self-hypnosis or something? Like some kind of self-soothing thing where he like repeats rearranging someone's insides is a common phrase among gay men. Interesting. Yeah, that's mostly who I've heard it from. Interesting. As a, for all intents and purposes, straight woman, I know very little about gay culture. But that's funny. I called him a bear. I don't think he's not. He's clearly not gay, right? He wouldn't be sitting there worried about women's secret nature if he were gay, right? I imagine gay men have little interest in that. I imagine. Again, I don't really know. I don't know. Just one supposes. Why would they? But that was the point I wanted to make also. Is that like he legitimately is a businessman, and I'll give him that. His original business model was not telling other people how to make money, right? Oh, I don't know if you've noticed this too, Ramon, but a tendency I've seen with some of these red pill types is they really love those videos where a woman attacks a man and then gets beaten up by him. A whole equal rights, equal lives thing. Oh, good. I can't wait to find. Thank you for the warning. It's weird. That is weird. I don't know. The coldness with which he talks about women betrays the lack of real affection to me. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want to be in the same room with the guy. He seems like a psycho. Okay. Yeah. No arguments there. I'm just saying that credit where credit is due, and the bar is in hell. Okay. But he did at least apparently have some form of legitimate business in Canada helping, people find debt relief. It like won an award for being or was nominated for an award anyway for best workplace or best company culture or some shit like that. So, when he talks about being an entrepreneur, he doesn't just mean telling other people how to be entrepreneurs and having them pay him for it. So, that's a point, right? That's a point. That's something. Which, makes him not a total, like, grifter, I guess. Which probably just means that he sincerely believes all the shit that he's saying. Having actual legitimate business acumen of any kind, otherwise you'd do something else with your time, right? I had to run and just bought back on, and the first thing I saw was Stephen Colors. Yeah. That's memorable, right? Some of this lingo is just stomach churning. But yeah, I don't know. I think making fun of these guys almost feels like a public service. Like somebody really ought to be doing this. Somebody really ought to find a way to crack this bullshit facade. As I said last week, I think this ideology is so toxic that it might actually be killing people. And also, bonus, I don't think there's any segment of my audience who's really sympathetic to these guys. My favorite part is when red pill men tell women my age that we must be full of cobwebs. And that's going to get repetitive after a while. The idea that the inherent worth of anything in this world is determined by how happy it makes their pee-pee. That word pee-pee. I can't believe that grown man said that. That's literally toddler talk. And I'm embarrassed now, having said it again. Like, This is coming from a bunch of men who've probably never gotten laid. I don't know. It's not actually that hard to get laid. You have to go where the drunk people are and look decent and smell decent. It's not that hard. A lot of them come off as very infantile to me. Oh, yeah. Not quite the same thing, but the video of Steven Crowder yelling at his wife made him sound like an actual teenager. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Andrew Tate does that something terrible. Andrew Tate literally sounds like an angry 14-year-old snarling at his parents in his bedroom. Absolutely. That's true for women, but not men, evidenced by the incel movement. Again, I really just think those guys are not doing it right. I do. I blame them. I do. Because I have met some skeevy, pathetic, absolute, just weirdo, goof ass dudes who had girlfriends. Okay? Not gorgeous model girlfriends, but they got laid on the regular. Okay? No, it actually reminds me of something I was watching yesterday about loneliness and how it becomes an attitudinal thing. And I think it's more closely related to that. What up, Mecca? How you doing? I blame them too. It's their attitude and personality. Exactly. I've seen some terribly ugly men that were very popular because they were great guys. Yeah, that too. That too. I can think of so many examples of that. Ah, that's so true. The Steven Crowder video was wild. How are you trying to assert authority when you sound like a literal child? Like, if you have authority, you don't have to, like... That sounds about as convincing as sitting there and trying to tell people, I'm not crazy, or whatever. You know, like... Having authority in a situation, you shouldn't have to sit there and scream about how much authority you have. If you find yourself doing that, maybe you don't have as much authority as you thought you did. This came from your hilarious video of a guy in a car explaining why sane women never touch him. Thank you, right? So he only dates crazy people and sane women in downward spirals. All right. I'm so glad you thought it was funny. That was a bit of an experiment. And I hope you guys liked it because I thought it was funny. And it was pretty easy to do. So, what an impressive self-report. Yeah. All the men I know would literally be embarrassed to say they didn't know how to do dishes. Oh, yeah. Matt Walsh once did a video basically bragging about how not knowing how to do dishes or laundry because his wife does it and like, sir, Mr. at least 40 years old and unable to take basic care of yourself. Yeah. I saw somebody making fun of Andrew Tate the other day talking about how he doesn't cook for himself. Which, like, I guess in prison he doesn't. Wah, wah. If you have to describe the sanity of every woman you've interacted with as a loaded gun, then boy, you must inspire happiness. Yeah, true. Yeah. And like I say, I can't imagine why any woman ever kept any part of her sexual history from that guy. I can't imagine why the women who date him don't feel, like they can be completely truthful with him. Yeah, I don't get it. Why would being worse at your wife be alpha? It seems like a real alpha would be like, yeah, I'm actually better than my wife at doing the laundry and dishes. It seems like a confident person would be able to take on any mundane task with at least a basic level of confidence, right? And might say to themselves, wow, what if I'm alone for a couple of days? I don't want to starve to death. Or have to pay. Like this thing I saw with Andrew Tate, he was literally trying to say that it was a waste of money to cook for yourself because it's a waste of time when you can just order it. And time is money. It's like, yeah, you have to pay money to save that time, asshole. Spoken like a man who's never been in a grocery store in his life. and being proud of themselves for being less capable than the average third grader of basic self-care tasks is obnoxious. Oh yeah. And eminently mockable, which is pretty much what I'm banking on. I'm so alpha, I'm not even a self-sufficient person. All right. I just sit around and have people wait on me all day. You know, so apparently the line between alpha and infantile is like invisible, is what we're saying. Oh, I love workshopping this stuff with you guys because, yeah, I have at least a couple other guys that I'm looking at. And a recommendation from Belle just now. Thank you very much. For more stuff like this, and obviously I'm still going to be looking at the other stuff that I usually cover, just bad feminism and goofy trans shit. I don't know. Apparently, here's a bit of news. Apparently, the Supreme Court recently ruled that half the states in this country don't have to recognize the updates to Title IX, etc., and do not have to cover gender affirming care and all that stuff. Presumably Tennessee is among them. So I guess we're not going to actually see any of that stuff here. Half the states, yeah, something like that. It was 40 something. All the red states, basically. Yeah. The conservative states. The states that don't want to, yeah. Right. They protested at the federal level. And won, apparently. So that's interesting. You gotta love uneven enforcement across the country. That's always a good time. No, as much as I would like to be hopeful about that, it looks like more just divide and conquer in action because we can't just roll it back. I haven't looked at the decision and I haven't looked at the arguments, but apparently, I would venture a guess that those bastards argued for themselves alone and did not try to strike down the thing as a whole. Probably not, I'd be curious to look at that. I don't know where to find. I could probably dig that up, but. And I'm assuming that Tennessee is among them. They have resisted everything else along those lines. Basically just sitting in the sun now. It's great. They've resisted everything else. This court is really annoying about states' rights, so we're going to have some increasingly divergent laws from state to state. Yeah. Probably so. Don't you love that? As I say, it's just in general. Uneven application of stuff across the country is problematic, you might say. Historically, I would argue. Oh, I forgot all about my water. Oh no. The upside of this states' rights nonsense is at least you're physically able to escape certain crap if you want to. Yeah. But of course, it leads to further polarization long term, then, right? And I feel like we've seen this with things like drug policy and race policy in the past, where a polarization makes it so that a lot of places are really good about that stuff, and a lot of other places are really fucking awful, and they get away with it, because it's not. Yeah, two trans friends of mine in the States are moving from, I think, Tennessee to Virginia because apparently the latter is more trans friendly. Apparently they have legal weed in Virginia. Go figure. They say Virginia is for lovers. That was their slogan for a long time. I don't know. about that. Good for them, I guess. Yeah. Tennessee is definitely not what I would necessarily consider a trans-friendly state, but I mean, I know several young people who are of some kind or another because I have kids who have friends. So, like, not only is it legally relevant, it is personally relevant. Okay. I don't talk about that a lot because this channel is not about my family. You know, as I've started to say, I'm here to speak from the perspective of a mom, not necessarily be a mom on the internet, you know. But so I don't blame them for wanting to move. It's probably going to be difficult to get coverage for that stuff here. It probably already was. I don't know. Oh. But so I wonder if Virginia wasn't on the list of states that protested then. I'm not sure if I could find that quickly. It's why I'm not looking it up right now. It's the kind of thing I'm going to need to look into, you know, while I'm eating dinner or something. Which, y'all, I made this enormous casserole yesterday. I'm so glad it turned out good, which it did. Because we're having that for supper again today. And we would have been, whether it was good or not. It depends on what you mean by friendly. Like, I live in a very liberal place. But every time I've seen a trans person in public, everyone was avoiding eye contact and nobody spoke to them. Okay, that's just downright rude. And ironically, I feel like that would not happen here. Okay? Which is, you know, kind of what I was saying last week or whenever that was about how this place, yeah, they're conservative, but they're also like pitch in times of need kind of conservative. I don't know. They're a basic courtesy kind of conservative. Where, regardless of what your political leanings are, if you just kind of go around ignoring everybody, you're probably going to be considered rude. And assumed to be from the north, I guess, probably. Which, you know, that definitely tracks. One thing, and I think this is a rural thing, is like around here, if you're driving down the road, you know, there's the normal little town road, you know, or through the neighborhood, not on the freeway, obviously, but like just downtown, the city street. You know, I hate to say city street because that sounds brings to mind a glorified vision of what I'm talking about. Anyway, you pass somebody, there's a pretty good chance they're going to wave at you. And when I first came down here, I'm riding around with my husband, he'd be waving back at people. I'm like, do you know that guy? He's like, no. I think a lot of younger trans folk end up quite antisocial because of stuff like what Meg said. That's terrible. I treat trans people with kindness because it's just common courtesy. Right. I live in the Northeast and we wave to everybody. Right on, right on. Is it more of a rural area? Because, like I say, I don't think it's necessarily a southern thing. My theory is that it's a rural thing. Same. Yeah, right on. I think it's a rural thing. Yeah. And, you know, no hate. It's just when I first moved down here, I am not from a rural area. When I first moved down here, God, almost 10 years ago, me off guard, that sort of thing. Well, or, you know, standing in the grocery line, somebody will just turn to you and start talking to you. And it's like, oh, okay, we're having a conversation now. Well, okay. Here in England, it's a north-south thing rather than a rural thing. Especially in London, we do not wave or say hi to people. It freaks us out when Northerners do it. Come on, the North is a lot more rural, though. Like, that might still track, right? I love that about Americans, though, that they'll often just start up a conversation with strangers. Like, not everybody. That's a stereotype. That is actually more of a rural thing. Yeah, every rural town I've lived in, all even small cities. What up, Kelly? How you doing? Like, again, I think the stereotype of Americans necessarily being like more friendly and gregarious is just a stereotype. It does have basis in reality, but it's more of a rural thing. Generally speaking, Americans do have that weird habit of going, "Hey, how you doing?" when they have no fucking interest at all in how you're doing. It literally just means hello. Even if they, even if it's just, "Hey, how are you doing?" Right? Yeah. Good, glad you made it. Me too. When me and my mom moved to North Carolina when I was a kid, the grocery lady hugged her when she said she was new in town. She was, yeah, that's crazy. I'm from a rural area, and it's true. Right on, right on. But like I'm saying, like, so, Belle, the north of England is more rural, also, right? So that might track. What do you think? It doesn't have to be a deep combo. It's just like, hey, how are you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so obviously it becomes this sort of little formulaic dance that you have to do. Hey, how you doing? Not bad. How you doing? Pretty good. You know, which is at least one more step than just each of you saying hello. It's more rural, but I've seen this in city dwelling northerners. Right on. Just being friendly. It doesn't have, yeah. Saying it sure is hot today. Oh. Yeah, it's getting to be that way around here. I'm looking forward to when I wrap this up, getting to go in the house. For sure. Oh. I'm glad anybody thought that video was funny. As I say, it came together pretty easily. When the how you doing thing, you don't have to say good, but if you're not doing good, say good. You still need to keep it brief. Like you can say still living. Haha, yeah. Hanging in there. Oh my god, this thing around here that people say. I thought it was just my husband, but it is not. Uh oh, can't complain. Nobody'd listen. Like literally, it's a two-parter. You say, "Oh, can't complain," and they say, "Yeah, who'd listen?" Which is a fun new twist on that. Well, the good Lord woke me up this morning, so I guess it's all right. Yeah, I just answer with meh. And the conversationalist award goes to that makes them stop talking to you because they're afraid you'll tell them why. Ha ha ha! Nice, nice. I use the Russian response how you doing of normal. Why? In the South, they always say blessed. Makes me want to vomit. Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on that stuff. Hashtag feeling blessed. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like it's good to be grateful, and have gratitude for the things in your life that are working out. But it's also sort of like proselytizing, right? It's like shorthand proselytizing. or which I guess makes it boasting. I don't know. I think I just enjoy the drama of random religiosity. I live with my grandma and her younger brother, so it's just how they talk. Okay. Wow. Wow. That's quite something. Good morning, is it? It's afternoon here, but whatever. Good morning. When my Aunt Cynthia's angry, she'll be like, God may kill me, but I'm going to insert random crazy threat. Nice. 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 That's like the inverse of what my aunt used to do. Probably still does, for all I know. Where she would go on a little tirade about how terrible somebody was and then sigh to herself and say, but that's for God to judge, not me. It's just that let her off the hook for all the crazy shit she just said about her friend or whoever, you know? Oh, how convenient, yeah. Yep. Oh, man. Her spiritual awakening came out of left field for me. She was always like the cool aunt who, like, gave me a car and, like, smoked pot in high school and stuff. And she called me up one day to let me know that she'd given her heart to Jesus Christ. And I just, why? Is that some sort of, option? I didn't realize that was like a going option in life at that point. I really wasn't. That was like my first personal experience with like, wait, people from non-evangelical families like do that? Like, I can't complain about that kind of thing because I don't even believe. Why did you steal that one? Yeah, right. It's pretty good. I can't complain about that kind of thing because I don't even believe in God, but I've picked up the habit. If I get worked up, a good Lord have mercy might happen. Yeah, no, I like that one too. Or what is it? What is it usually? I don't remember because it's like unconscious. My sister became a holy roller, and I hardly recognize her anymore. It's like she's brain damaged. Ooh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I feel like the longer we live, the more likely, the more people in our lives have that kind of, you know. My sister, who I grew up with, does not speak to me anymore because I'm such a toxic person. Mind you, this was the crescendo of a conversation that she and I were, that it started because I wrote a blog post about how much Donald Trump sucks. Lord have mercy. About how much Donald Trump sucks, and she also doesn't like him. So I thought, we might get a mutual kick out of it. That was literally it. That was how the conversation started. And it ended with, her telling me that she was tired of me gaslighting her because I didn't believe that the government wanted her dead. So, yeah. She was referring to the LGBTQ community, of which, like, she was married to a man at the time, so yeah. We are immigrants. She became a Trumper. She literally told me if I didn't like it here to go back to my own country. I was like, what? That's so terrible, honey. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. And, like I say, she doesn't want to talk to me, and she told me to get the fuck out of her life and never contact her again. And, like, okay. That sucks. I'm not happy about it, but, like, she's not the nicest person anyway. Shockingly, I know. I guess it. I guess like 70% of the U.S. population would get out then. Yeah, right. Something like that. I don't know. Both sides of my family have been here for at least 100 years, so it's sort of nebulous as to where exactly I would be going. Ah. My mom also got big into Trump in 2020. Oh dear, she used to watch his rallies live and chant "Build the Wall," despite us not only being immigrants but British, right, and living in Britain, right? Yeah. Did you tell her that's not very Christian, right? Ooh. There's nothing you can do with people who decide to get that damn dramatic about politics. Sad but true. I had someone get upset with me for saying no matter who wins the election, we'll make it like we always do. I mean, one hopes. The world's not going to explode or anything, but if Trump wins, we're literally going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. Girl, no, we're not. We don't even live in red states, and if we did, we could move. Yeah. It's. I doubt that he's going to win at this point anyway. Regardless of how Kamala Harris laughs, standing next to her, I feel like he looks like an old crankpot. I've seen this. It's wild. So many people these days seem to take disagreement on just one issue as a sign that you're fully opposed to them and hate them. Like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like that divide and conquer at work in people's minds. It's terrifying. Right. After the Supreme Court Title IX, I don't know who wins. I don't mind who wins. Ah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need any more conservative justices on the Supreme Court, for example. For another thing, regardless of what you feel about Kamala Harris, I have some confidence that she will at least be actively involved in her administration, which is not something I could say about either of the other two candidates. All you can do in life is try to make it, and people have an incredible ability to figure stuff out. Like, true, but dare I say it, I would like it to not get any more difficult. At least not for a while. You know, I don't think that's such a big ask. And Tim Walz up against JD Vance is just so normal. They're wigging out over being called out as weird. That is possibly one of the most clever moves PR wise I've ever seen. It's just right on the nose. Right on the nose. If either person wins, some things will get better and other ones will get worse. Yes. Yes. And I don't necessarily think that long term there's that so much big difference. You know, I'm pretty well convinced it's like two heads of the same hydra anyway. But I know who I'd rather fight with, I guess. And you know, it's not any Mr. Conservative McChristian Pants who's gonna like try and tell me what to do with my body and look for justifications for racism and all that stuff. There's some folks who are really invested in creating panic over this election, but I've seen enough of them happen that I'm not getting fired up. Vote who you want and hope for the best. Like, yeah, I'm certainly not sitting here trying to stoke panic. Like I say, I do firmly believe that one choice is less shit than the other in the short term. I do firmly believe that, but obviously that is my own opinion. That's the point of this whole democracy thing, is y'all are entitled to believe whatever you want, vote for whoever you want. I'm certainly not laboring under the misapprehension that my endorsement makes a damn bit of difference. I'm voting third party. I think both are durable. It's hard to argue with that. Oh my gosh. One of my biggest wishes for the longest time is to have a legitimate third party. I mean, not that they're not, but like a really strong third party in this country. How big of an embarrassment is it to all those goofball American patriots out there that France does such a better job with like democratic elections than we do? RFK? I'm also voting third party. You can't have a really strong one unless people actually vote for third parties rather than getting propagandized out of it. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's sort of a chicken and an egg issue, you know, because unfortunately there are a lot of people who legitimately are not familiar with the third party candidates in any significant way because they don't get the media coverage. So obviously that would be a corruption on the part of the media. Obviously. What? The media's corrupt? No, I had no idea, right? The argument for not voting third parties is people don't vote for third parties. No, I know, it's dumb. I don't need to worry about Republicans winning anyway in New York. Yeah, probably not. Which is total bullshit, but yeah. That's right. On the other hand, I don't have to worry about Democrats winning much here in Tennessee. You know, the national, I've said this before too, the National Democrat Party has just given Tennessee up for lost, essentially, and they're just kind of keeping the lights on around here. And I was a member of the local Democrat committee for like 4 or 5 years, so I got to watch that happen, and then you know, it was less than inspiring. Just like I know Republicans winning my state. Yeah, right. Actually, here, a lot of times there aren't even any Democrats on the ticket. So if you're not registered as a Republican, you just don't get to vote at all. Because it's like a split ballot where you only get the side that you're registered for. So if nobody runs on the Democrat side and you're a registered Democrat, you might as well just stay home. It's great. Can't imagine that discourages people from voting at all. In the primary or in the actual election? Both? I mean, not presidential, obviously. You get both choices for the presidential election, like federal stuff. But yeah, it's great. I had never seen that before. That struck me as absolutely bonkers. Even if it does include like the federal thing. But so cross-party voting is so much less of a thing here. Which I think discourages Democrats from running at all. Because like if you're a Republican, you can't just like have one Democrat you like and vote for them. And then be straight ticket the rest of the way. Like you can't do that. And with so many people registered Republican, like they're not even getting your name on their ballot. It won't even be there. That seems silly. I like moderates on both sides. Right. But you can't vote cross-party here. You can't do it. Just a couple minutes left. Okay. I gotta get off of here. I have so much to do. I need to go find something to eat. But you guys have been an absolute blast today. Thank you so much for helping me workshop the video and those recommendations and stuff. I guess we do have a ranked choice option in my state, but that feels like communism to me. What? It seems like an odd thing to say. We don't have any senators in D.C. And one of our House rep can speak on the floor, but can't vote. Nice. So I really vote for entertainment. Yeah, right. That's true. Y'all don't have representation. That's terrible. That's a travesty of civics right there. Thanks for the chat. All we'll try to watch the videos. Right on, man. Right on. Whenever you do, just leave me a comment. You know, ranked choice voting. Yeah. Catch you on Wednesday for the live. Yep. 2 hours on Wednesday. Always great to see you guys. Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, it's lame. DC doesn't count. It's just so stupid. That's the capital of the goddamn country, and it doesn't get what? That's crazy talk. It isn't the popular vote. No, yeah. Okay, but like it is though, in like a tiered way. Anyway, it's yeah. I gotta go. Need to go make lunch too. Yeah. That makes it twice as funny. Someone stopped speaking to me because I'm not voting for Harris. It literally doesn't matter who I vote for. Yeah, I need to get ready for an appointment soon. Yep. So it's time to go. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging with me. It's been cool. I do just want to say, not speaking to somebody anymore because of who they said they were going to vote for. First of all, that's none of your fucking business. That's called a secret ballot. Hello. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's why it's none of your fucking business. Just a thought. So, I don't know. I kind of consider it a rude question in the first place. Good to talk to you too, Steph. I'll see you guys Wednesday. I gotta go. Bye, guys.